JCU インサイトのお時間です。新型コロナウイルスのパンデミックで1年延期され、ようやく開催された東京オリンピック2020。各国の金メダル獲得数は現在日本が首位をキープし、盛り上がりを見せています。そんな中、保守派は今年の五輪がポリコレになりつつあることを心配しています。オリンピックは愛国心と国際協力を祝い、選手の努力と能力を報います。政治は置いておいても純粋に楽しめるイベントなはずですが、それに反対する人もいます。握手を拒否した韓国選手は世界中で取り上げられていますが、日本のマスコミはあまり報じていません。自国のアメリカを尊敬しない、愛国心を持たないアメリカ女子サッカーチームがアメリカでは話題となっています。詳しくは保守評論家マット・ウォリュスの解説をご覧ください。
Today for our daily cancellation, we begin with some good news for a change. The Philadelphia Inquirer has the story that says the U.S. women's soccer team opened the Olympics in disastrous fashion, losing 3-0 to longtime rival Sweden. It was the program's worst defeat at a major tournament since 2007, and manager Vlatko Andonovsky's first loss since taking the helm in October 2019. And it was no fluke. It was an honest-to-goodness beating. For all the talk of the U.S. being the tournament's heavy favorite, Sweden was on the front foot from the start and rarely let up. I don't really know what that means. They outshot the Americans by 16-13 in the game, including by 10-3 in the first half. An American team loaded with past medals, but also the oldest squad in this tournament, looked the latter more than the former. Now, from what I'm hearing, this was almost as embarrassing as the time when they lost to a bunch of adolescent boys. It's also almost as hilarious and wonderful, but not quite. I'm not ashamed to tell you that I am actively rooting against U.S. women's soccer. I want them to lose. I want them to be embarrassed badly on the global stage because they have so thoroughly and intentionally embarrassed us. The Daily Mail reports, quote, the U.S. and Team GB women's football teams were among those who took the knee ahead of their opening matches in the Olympics today. All 22 players took part in the gesture prior to kickoff between four-time Olympics champion, the U.S. and Sweden in Tokyo. An hour after Team GB and Chile did likewise in Sapporo. The IOC recently relaxed the rules for protests at the Games, softening a long-standing ban on political protests at the global sporting event. Athletes will now be allowed to take a knee before play begins to highlight racial injustice, speak to the media and post online about their views, or wear clothing with a protest slogan at a press conference. So U.S. women's soccer took the knee. As always, none of them can explain why they're kneeling. None of these people have ever been able to offer any cogent explanation as to what exactly they're protesting. And that's because they aren't protesting any particular thing, so much as expressing a general disdain for their country. And this stunt comes as no surprise either. These are the same ladies who wore BLM shirts while also taking a knee during the anthem before a game last year. Led by political activist Megan Rapinoe, they have consistently put their politics front and center and declined to display patriotism in favor of this sort of woke virtue signaling, all while repeatedly declaring their allegiance with an organization, BLM, that is among the most destructive, evil, and depraved to exist in this country in modern history. These women are not interested in representing the United States. They want to represent their own ideological interests. They've shown no pride in their country, no allegiance to it, and so I have no pride in them. I want them to lose. That's what they deserve.